Hello, here is a massive killing game played on IGS where Black lost the central dragon, and that's quite impressive. A very fierce attack and chase in the middle, and everything collapsed. It was dangerous. If Black managed to save the group, then he's got more territory, but the beginning was much better for White. So White had the first chance to win this game pretty much from the start. So we can conclude this was a complete victory for White, especially with this spectacular kill. So let's have a look. There are a few things that could have been played slightly different, but at some point that dragon died in Gote. So super classic opening, Shimari and Komoko. Then the large pincer. White puts pressure here. This is the most common move. I tend to play oftentimes N4 or M4 just to discard this R5 and give it as bait. So when Black plays a move like P4, which is normal to prevent being pressed down, White just extends on the bottom. So switch the focus from the right side to the bottom side. Then Black plays another move, either cover with Keima or a kick. But this stone is not completely dead, this R5. And then White is speeding up and goes for another big point somewhere else. So this is a way to let Black focus on the right side, but in the meantime, you go for the other sides of the board. Anyway, nothing wrong with this push. It's very common. Then push along, and now counter pincer. This is fine, but in general, White can push several more times here, and it's usually Sente. If Black steps up, you have Hane, and then the push. Then you have this cut, which it's a Kikashi. It's a forcing move, preparing the nose Tesuji. Then Atari extend, which is setting up the ladder. Black usually captures this stone in Gote. Then you play the nose Tesuji, so you get an extremely powerful wall, and then you jump in with the counter piece and at R11. But okay, you can just push several times. Then Black doesn't always go up. He can just Nobi, for example, and now you counter pincer. So having a stronger wall, it's easier to fight. And in general, when you play this pincer, this invasion, Black will jump out and you just make a base. But here in the game, Black decided to counter pincer too. Then Kosumi came, which is fine. You want to push that stone towards the wall. But again, you can push several times and then think about that Kosumi. So you have a stronger wall. Now here Black played a one space jump. And next move it's a peep, but this kind of leaves some cutting points. So in general you want to play the Keima, because that's also the move that Black wants to use to go out. So if you play away, he wants to come out with the dog face formation. Anyway, the peep put more pressure. It was kind of overplayish, but Black panicked and he played a slow move, this second line defense, and it's very painful for him. He was supposed to push out and then play a Hane, because like this there are cutting points, so it's a slightly better fight. But it's still difficult. He still needs this kind of move. So, but now when White covers, the formation is just too strong for White. So he played another Kosumi just to survive, and Tsuke in the corner. It's possible, but actually it's not necessary. It's good enough to protect here. Just play a solid move. Black might connect under, but it doesn't matter what he does. It's already very powerful. White can push again one time here. So this formation on the outside, it's super strong for White. White can also push an Atari here. Anytime these are Sente moves for White. But this can be kept in reserve for Kotreds and then just play a Shimari. So the opening, it's excellent for White because Black is just crawling on the second line on the right. He'd be like 5 points with all those moves. So that's pretty ugly. Now, this attach, Black can counter a little bit. He can push, then go down. If you block here, he will cut. So you need to descend, then he will push again. And if you just go down, he will connect under. And there is still this cutting point at Q9. So when you connect Q9, it's going to be Gote. Therefore, this was a way for Black to counter, but he just connected. Now when he connects, White covers. But actually, for White, it's better to play R4. Because when Black Hane, it's possible to block with S2. When you play the cover here for an extra point, on the Hane, when you block, you gotta fight a Ko. So that's the difference. And once you play R4, he needs to extend for a base at K3, then you can take the Shimari in the top left. So it's slightly better in this case to play R4. Now anyway, Black has Miai between R2 and the extension at K3, so he can play some other moves. Oh, but he was still afraid of this group. Yeah, actually he needs to protect that group too. So yeah, if you go back here, R4, he connects under because, well, he can leave even if white separates, but it's painful. And now you can attack more severe the 4 stones. Because now when he plays R2, you block and he barely makes eyes here. Like exactly twice in the end. So yeah, he connected under. Excellent start for white. And now white played G3. So when white goes all the way, K3 or L3, black can Hane. And this will happen later in the game. And if you want to continue the fight here to attack this group, you should always Hane and then play the Ko. Because this puts pressure on the group. But otherwise, you can just leave it because black survives anyway. You take a big point. If he plays Atari, you don't have to take any action now. Or you can still block and fight the Ko. Because every time you block like this, you leave the option to cut. And then continue the Ko. If you win the Ko, the group is in trouble. But for now, white played a little bit more conservative emphasis on the corner with G3. So this doesn't really attack the 4 stones so much. I mean, black can still extend here or Hane. These are Miai points for him. But black went San. It's a bit questionable. So I decided to block D3, but in this case it's okay to block C4 as well, because the potential is on the left side. So when black lives in the corner, he needs to push D3, then Hane, play Atari, play another Hane. This sequence it's all forced. White plays the hanging connection, black needs to survive, and in general you play another move so you don't let this stone go out. But in this case, you don't have to do that, because you can extend all the way to K3 or L3, which is attacking the 4 stones. He needs the Hane here to stay alive, and then you can play a Shimari in the top left. So when he comes out here, you double up. If he jumps, you extend again. If he jumps here, you extend again. So actually you're happy that he comes out because he gives you both sides extensions, and you develop nice on the left and on the bottom while black is simply running out. So white should consider the direction of play C4 here. But it's not wrong to play D3 either, because anyway with the double Hane it feels good. And actually, when you double Hane, black should take the stone, and then you Atari and catch 2 stones. And having the extension of G3, white already builds a nice corner here, then black has to switch to the left side. But anyway, as a direction of play, I would go for C4, because there is more potential, more prospects to build on the left side in the future. So that's one thing. We have the double up, and here black played a terrible move. He just connected. So it's so painful for him to live in the corner next in Gote, and white attacks the 4 stones. Actually, white can go even further at L3. It's more pressure. If black goes R2, which is the necessary move, white can enclose with Keima next. Then black might play another move. Otherwise, it's really dangerous for black, because in the near future, white can Hane and fight the Ko. And if white just wins this Ko, let's say Hane in the corner, there are many Ko threats here, white captures. Black has some local threats like Tsuke, then take back the Ko, white continue here, take back the Ko, black can bump, go up, take back the Ko, then Hane block, take the Ko, and eventually black needs to leave locally, so black will play this move, white captures the Ko, and black needs another move to stay alive. If black plays away, white will hit the vital point, catch the stone, and the group dies. So it's more pressure playing L3 instead of K3. Anyway, the idea was good, so you take away black's extension, but going down it's a bit slack, because anyway the group will leave. So right now, take a big point, develop open spaces. This Atari, it's not so interesting because white is not going to build points here anyway. Black can push S5 anytime, so in the end, if let's say black just leaves like this, white needs another move to make 2 points. 2 stones for 2 points. Now, black still panicked, so he played the Tsuke. On this Tsuke, it's good to Hane first. If he blocks, you play Atari from above, he connects, you connect. If he goes up, it's still good because you can push and you take away his base, so he's still on the run now. And then you play moves in the center to chase the group and build something later in the game. So, Nobi, then black plays away. Yeah, he had to invade the left side. Actually here, white can attack from C10, black approaches the corner, white kicks, black goes up, white extends. So white can attack from the left side, because this black group is over concentrated and the shape in the top is good. But it's also okay to play C14. Actually, I like this C14 more, because you push him towards the thickness, and then his base is still under attack. So now the turn on the bottom gives black a pretty good shape because he can go down. It's still better to play the Hane. So once you Hane, you attack his base more severe. He blocks, Atari from above, he needs to connect, then you can turn here. He might take a stone to just survive, and then you can play away. K17 is a very large point. So this move, black will go down. Black is not going to connect here. And when he goes down, he has more space. But anyway, it's a good exchange to get the center. Now on the left side, you can play a cap here or a cap here. But right now it's okay to extend in the top. K17. K16, also good. But K16, when black approaches M17 and you play other moves, he can also slide. So playing K17 already blocks that slide. I mean, if he comes here, next move, it's a jump. So you build a box and he doesn't go under. Going G16 leaves the slide, so makes K16 kind of wasted, because then you gotta block like that. But black played desperate. He doesn't have to go inside there. He's weak on the left, so he's supposed to jump in the middle once to be safe, or just slide in the top. This Tsuke just hurt him and makes white much stronger than he had the problem. You can connect solid here, because when he Hane, you can block. When you connect this way, he Hane and you cannot block, you got a Nobi. Unless you want to play the double Hane, then give up the corner to take 2 stones. But this is a success for black, because he lives in center in the corner, then he can save the middle group. Therefore you gotta go down, that's good. And here you don't have to block the corner, you can play G18. If you Hane, block, connect, he will leave, but it's very painful. It's a 4 points life, so you got the territory on the outside, then you go on a counter attack on this group. If you play a cap like this and he goes here, then you have a peep, go down, and he's on the run. So that's how the dragon starts flying out. So we have the Keima, put pressure. Yeah, shoulder hit is good too. But the way this turned out wasn't great for white. I mean, right now, later on, he died a lot. So here you should play D11, because D11 is threatening to cut through. So if you play, for example, a jump, you push and take away the base. If you play, hang on a second. So normally when you play D11, you're threatening the cut. It's the same when you play the wedge. Atari connect, there's a cutting point, so he might push. And then you cover, then he plays Hane, and there are cutting points on the left side. But first things first, you need to play this Hane, so you can use those cuts. And this gives white a very nice center, even if black leaves small on the left side. But the stylish move is to play just Nobi, and it threatens the cut. If you place here, you cover, and then maybe use the push and cut, or maybe you jump in at B11, depends how it develops. But this bump actually gives black this Atari, so black can go out. And here, white should play Atari under, because that stone will die anyway. So this feels like black invested so many stones just to kill one. And once you play Atari, your shape is fine on the left, his base is not so great, and then you can attack from the center. You can play a move like this, he might play here, another Keima, he has to make ice somehow, like this, or an Atari, but you're just building the center while attacking this group on the left. Anyway, it's quite impressive that this group died, because right now he's reaching I shape. He can come out in the center like this, but I think he went down, yeah. Then after Atari, he takes the stone. So instead of Atari, white should pull out this stone, because this is taking away the ice. I mean, black will push, Atari connect, and defend. And now the only way to make some I shape is to play a Kosumi here. Then if white surrounds the group, he needs another move to stay alive. And it's super painful. I mean, if you look all over the board, white can still build a giant box in the middle. So playing this move, this gives ice on the spot. He takes the stone, Hane, block with Hane. So this group is alive. Peep, he should play Atari first, like this. Then connect and defend. And on the cut, just turn. So the group lives on the left, and then black has to find ways to come into the center. Push here once, then jump from the top. Somehow, like this, because this stone can connect to the top or to the right. If white separates here, he goes to the right. If white separates like this, he goes to the top. So, connect, Nobi, turn, Keima. That was good. So the group on the left is fine. On this Tsuke, why should Hane? Because black either blocks or goes down. Then white Nobi or Keima. Actually, white can push, turn, and then Keima. So it's more pressure. You press him down a lot. If you just play the pullback, then his shape is good when he plays the tiger mount. You can push here and he blocks. So Hane first, he needs to go down, then come inside. And he didn't have to go back here. He can play tiger mount, then push, and his territory will grow towards the right side. Going back, it's painful. You can attach, then he needs to wedge or Hane, go up. There's a cutting point here. He needs to push again, cut one time, then Hane, double Hane, push along, and enclose the middle. So let's see how this group died on the left. This block is small, because normally, if you continue with the push here, if he pushes like this, he can only destroy 2 points. And if he cuts, you cut and he dies inside. So that block was like saving 2 points. Now the group on the left is still alive, but he creates a small dragon in the middle and those 3 stones are just dead. That's good. No way out for this group. This is fine. Actually, he has some agi towards the right side, so it's better to play this one space jump. If he plays a bump here, you can peep. If he plays this one, you go down. No way to live inside. This bump takes away the eye, but there is still agi around here. So jump, protect, that's good. Yeah, so far, no eyes for this group. Maximum 1. Tuck, yeah, push once, play here, then peep. Yeah, no eyes at all. So the way this attack goes, it's pretty good for white. This move is not necessary because when you play a move like this, he makes tiger mouth, so he already hopes for some eye shape. Normally, the shape point is this one, but you can prepare a bit, play a Tsuke in the top to be safe. On the Hane, you can wedge, Atari, connect. There are cutting points, he needs to connect, then it's easier to play the peep because when he pushes, you pull back. So this is threatening the cut and no eye shape for him. This Hane is not necessary. Anyway, he's not going to break through those walls. You gotta play this move, threatening the cut and pull back, oops. Then he connects, turn, so collapse. This Hane, black can play a move like this, trying to make some eye shape. Peep was good. The block here is not necessary. Better push in the top, then Tsuke. This peep, not a problem. Atari, not a problem because that's only a false eye. So that was a slack move. It's like saying pass in the middle of the fight. This was good. Takes away the eye, so he's got 1 and no way to build a second. Actually, this move is not necessary, just block. Because when he blocks here, it's a false eye anyway. Then, yeah, play away. Push. It's dead in Gote now. This is still running a lot. And no way out. Yeah. White can block directly. Block, if he plays here, Hane, he plays here, connect, that's a false eye. But same thing. This move is also not necessary. It doesn't matter if he pushes, you better turn. He pushes here, you connect. He plays here, there is no eye, and then you also kill the bottom. But yeah, the game, it's over. No way to make 2 eyes. Strange shape. You can play this one. If he tries to make an eye, Atari. And in fact, you can also play here, and if he tries to make this eye, reduce from the other side. So now, this move. It's more elegant. If he cuts, you play Hane, then you block this way. So you have eye shape. Too many empties. It's a battle of empties here. But, yeah, all safe, and better safe than sorry. This move is also not necessary. You can just Atari, and then when he connects, there is no eye. Or connect here. If he plays this one, you take the eye like that. If he blocks here, you play Atari. So that's a disaster. But now there was nothing for black to do. Yeah, he tried some magic, but this is a good move because white can make an eye here and an eye here. So what if black pushes here first? White needs to connect. Then black defends like this. White has to go down. Black takes away this eye. And now it's a huge semi-eye. Who can win this? Tuck, tuck. Throw in helps. Try to false the eye, it's good. Push here. Push here. There are many common liberties actually. Atari connect. So both white and black have an eye. This one is good because of the follow-up. Hane block connect. Atari block. So it's 1, 2, 3. Lots of common liberties. So let's see. Maybe it ends up a super big seki. Oh wow. Yeah. White cannot play Atari because it's self Atari. So this will be a seki and black escapes. And that's a problem. So black had an option to save his group, but the way he played, he didn't push. He couldn't save it. So when he played here, white should actually connect like this because there is no eye in the middle. And then black needs to protect around here somehow. Then white pushes through. Ouch, this group is in trouble also. So all these moves are center for white. Then connect on the outside. That way black is just stays dead and nothing happens. No seki, no semi. It's a clean kill. Anyway, well done on this game. Impressive victory, killing such a big dragon. So this is how it's supposed to be many times when your opponent overplays. Congrats again and keep it up.